what are some of the symptoms that people would have with lung cancer, or are there necessarily symptoms?
So unfortunately, a lot of patients don't develop symptoms until fairly late in the disease, and that's one of the big issues with lung cancer. So, symptoms that will classically go with lung cancer when they start developing could be the chronic cough. She described a smoker's cough. So how do you differentiate a smoker's cough from a cough that's something new and could be cancer? Increasing shortness of breath. Sometimes when you're coughing, you may cough up blood. A new chest pain, a funny ache. It could be, honestly, just about anything.
But when you get to having all those symptoms, it's probably a little farther along. Is that the difficulty?
It is. So unfortunately, once you get to that stage where you're having symptoms, you've often gotten to the point where you've got advanced disease when you're showing up at your doctor's.
Lou, what are the main causes?
So I always, when I educate people about lung cancer, I say there's 5 big causes for lung cancer, and 3 of them are smoking, smoking, and smoking. So smoking is far and away the biggest cause. And there are other things. There's environmental things like radon, and if you were exposed to older means of radiation, asbestos, and some other environmental agents that are related to it. But smoking far and away wins that race.
Well, in these days, I have to ask, what about vaping?
So vaping is a great question. Vaping hasn't been around enough to know if it increases their risk, because remember, the majority of people that are vaping, and quite honestly, that are being targeted, right, with bubble gum flavored and cherry berry, it's not for us, are young individuals. So we have to wait and see.
So it's not people who said, I don't want to smoke anymore because of the damage it's doing to me, I'll do the vaping.
Right.
It's new targeted people who are vaping, and it can be any number of things that are in that, correct?
Right, and we do see damage from the vaping, and the concern is as we look down the road, these individuals have been vaping for as long as someone like Cheryl has been smoking, that you'll see that, burning things and inhaling things are not healthy, regardless of what it is.
That obviously includes, just to say, cigars,
Correct.
pipes, anything where you're...
Right, any combustible you're inhaling puts you at risk.